Hello and welcome to Salty About Health. My name is Dalaney and I'm here with my mom and co-host, Mary. So, Mom, why are we salty about health?
Good question. It's because both of us have had struggles, some more serious than others, and no one showed us simple ways we could jump into the driver's seat and take control.
And why are we sharing our views with our listeners?
Well, because we want our listeners to realize that it may take time, but with some simple knowledge about health, they'll be able to make a few changes and dig deeper to take control of their well being and live a more vibrant life.
That's fantastic. But right now, before we get into all of that, we just need to do some housekeeping. Here we go. This is an opinion-based podcast. This is not in any way offered as a diagnosis or treatment for any disease, illness, or infirmity for physical or mental condition or any other condition you may have. We are not doctors or practitioners of any kind. Persons needing medical care should obtain it from a medical practitioner. So, consult your practitioner before making any health decision. The opinions offered here in this podcast are ours alone. Again, we're not doctors, and the banter you're going to be listening to is our view and our view alone. Okay, that's done. We, of course, also want to have an open dialogue with our listeners. So stay tuned to the end of the episode, and we'll let you know all of the ways that we can connect. Welcome everyone to episode 27. Today, we are going to talk about infrared saunas. And sauna in this episode. Mom goes to an infrared sauna once a week, and she didn't really know why she was going. She just likes that it makes her take a break from life and relax. So she thought she would look into the benefits that she may be getting from this sauna and inform our listeners. So we're going to go talk with the owner as well later on in this episode of that infrared sauna where Mom goes.
Yes, Delaney, I do like my sauna time. So I decided it would be great information to share with our listeners, and hopefully they may find benefits of their own by using an infrared sauna also.
Cool. So let's inform the listeners about exactly what an infrared sauna does, and because I don't know what they are or do exactly either.
Yep, we're going to be talking about full spectrum infrared saunas today. That means it refers to all three types of infrared, which would be far, mid, and near, with each offering its own unique benefits. Infrared is a portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. If you examine and break down the word infrared, infra translates to below or further on, and red is simply the color. So infrared essentially means after red, which makes sense considering that the far, mid, and near terms indicate the distance of that wavelength from the visible color red.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that because I know the electromagnetic spectrum with those wavelengths, the rainbow is basically what we can see, right? The Roy G. Biv gamut. And then there's on the other side, so infrared. So then there's ultraviolet, so that must mean like above violet, right?
You're the
Right?
engineer.
I don't know. I know, but I didn't take Latin, so I have no idea.
Neither did I.
So cool. But not all infrared saunas offer a full spectrum of that infrared wavelength. So far infrared generates all the heat within an infrared sauna cabin. And that I don't think these are infrared wavelengths exactly, but if you've ever sat around a campfire, if you can feel the heat coming onto your face, but then if you put your hand up and spread your fingers out, you actually block the heat even though there's like gaps between your fingers because you're breaking that heat wave, like literally the heat, like the wave, so it doesn't come through to your face.
Oh,
That's
that's
just a
really
way to
cool.
picture it. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't know. Things that I do at a campfire. Uh, but besides that, mid and near infrared waves offer great benefits, but on their own, they are not capable of creating enough heat to cause perspiration. So each wavelength offers its own exclusive advantages.
Yeah, near infrared is the shortest of the three. It's absorbed just below the surface of the skin, promoting wound healing, cell health regeneration, skin revitalization, and can mitigate inflammation. Near infrared has also been shown to help clear up acne lesions, improve fine lines and wrinkles, and encourages collagen synthesis.
I think wavelength stuff is so cool because light is a particle and a wavelength. Like it's super fascinating the stuff that it does and how everything has a frequency it's vibrating at. Anyways, really nerdy. So so you go from that to the mid infrared MIR. It's longer than the near infrared, obviously, because it's, midway up, thus allowing for greater penetration into your soft tissue. MIR can help with inflammation, pain, and help decrease overall healing time. Other benefits can include weight loss and the expansion of blood vessels, which leads to improved circulation. Yay!
And that leaves us with far infrared, and that is the longest wavelength and penetrates the deepest where toxins and chemicals are trapped. It can assist with weight loss and increases your heart rate. This increase in beats per minute can be equivalent to mild cardio. In addition, far infrared stimulates vasodilation, which in turn increases blood flow throughout the body. Far infrared can also reduce pain, ease joint stiffness, decrease inflammation, and alleviate overall body stress. And let's not forget the powerful detoxification you experience through substantial perspiration. In fact, people often claim to feel energized and balanced after a far infrared sauna session. And I just came back from a sauna session
And you feel refreshed and energized?
yeah, I do.
Oh, it's very perky. But I think the perspiration, even in, I don't know, normal, they're not normal, non-infrared saunas, just like heat saunas, that's kind of the same thing that they're getting at, is getting you to sweat out all the
Toxins.
junk, yeah, in your body.
Sweat is good. But I remember before I started going to the Infrared Sauna Studio, um, I didn't sweat that much. And I remember growing up thinking, oh, that's really cool. I don't sweat that much. But that's actually bad. And I think we've talked about this in other episodes. And yes, sweat is a way your body can detox from toxins and, heavy metals, things like that.
Yeah. And then if you're me, you just sweat in weird places from volleyball, like my kneecaps. Profusely.
We could probably do an episode on that, and there's probably a reason why you sweat from your
Yeah, it's super.
knees.
Even if I don't have my knee pads on, like if I wear leggings and no knee pads and play volleyball, you can just, that's where it starts. Like, so
Well, that's going to be fun to Google.
Yep, that's gonna get some weird answers. So now back to infrared saunas. When all three of those wavelengths are inside of the same sauna cabin, you have yourself a powerhouse of therapeutic energy. This is a mom quote. Near, mid, and far infrared work amazingly in conjunction with each other, which I think the other theme of our podcast could be if it comes together naturally, there's probably a reason and it's good for you most of the time. So they work together and heighten one another's benefits and create a great detoxification / recovery experience for the user.
Yes, so I know Michelle will be able to talk more about that. So let's introduce Michelle and ask her about how she got started and what she sees the benefits are from using an infrared sauna.
So, everyone, this is Michelle Larkin, and she's an owner of Unit 8 Infrared Sauna Studio in Frederick, Maryland. So, Michelle, thank you for being here. First of all, this is awesome. It's a very cool subject. And so, how were you first introduced to infrared saunas, and how did that lead you to start your own business?
So basically, it was the year 2015. I was in the healthcare industry for over 20 years, and I took a little break. And then in 2015, my husband went on a business trip to Nashville. So I was like, okay, I'll go with you. I had some time, and then I decided, well, what should I do today? And that's how honestly it all started. And I was intrigued because it said something about infrared. It was on Groupon. And then I was like, well, what is this? This is interesting. And I wasn't a big sauna person because it was too hot, but I like how the traditional benefits and everything like that. So anyway, I went in there and she had one sauna and then she was a health coach. So it was on Groupon. It was 10 minutes from the hotel. The hotel bus took me. And really, honestly, that's all it took is one time. And then 4 or 5 months later, I got into my own business. So I just liked the benefits and I was really intrigued. It helped me. And then I went there every day. And then that was in January. And then I went back in February with my husband and I went to her location.
Oh, right. That's really cool. So, do you have a certain brand of sauna that you use in your studio? And what made you go with that brand?
So basically, I did a lot of research and everything. Now, the brand was Sunlight and Saunas, and I like I say that's really the top medical grade saunas that is out there. So you have to be very, very cautious of choosing your infrared saunas. And people don't really understand it's infrared is you want that detoxifying sweat. You know, some people may say, oh, I can go outside in the summer and sweat, but it's totally too different. So that being said, sunlight and saunas are the medical grade. You don't have to worry about how it's being built or anything like that. Plus, it has its own patent, it has its third party testing as well. So that's how I started. There was a couple that I was looking at even more, but Sunlight is definitely one of the top of the full spectrum saunas out there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So for someone like me who knows nothing about this, like what programs and settings are you offering just so our listeners can, I don't know, be a little savvy if they do walk into a sauna and see what they're getting?
Okay, yeah, and with Sunlight and Saunas is the first sauna company to develop the mid-near far infrared. So that being said, so if you can just visualize it's 3 inches, this invisible infrared line. So and some people may call it like a light therapy as well. So that penetrates up to 3 inches into your core. So that's considered your far infrared. And I always tell people, if you had to choose an infrared wavelength, I would say your far because that penetrates up to 3 inches. And then you have your mid, and the mid is the 1.5 inch, and it's kind of hard to visualize because you're like, well, that's kind of weird. A line and wavelength is going into my body, but that's how it basically is set up. And then your near infrared is anti-aging, and that's one of our programs as well. And that's the surface of your skin. It helps with wrinkles. It helps with wound care. It helps, if you had scars. So it minimizes that. So to answer your question as well of like different programs, just about any infrared saunas out there, you have just your far infrared. So this one is the mid near far. And not only that, it's a full spectrum and it has like detoxification. It has relaxation, it has cardio, it has pain relief, anti-aging. And just to keep in mind, that temperature is a 129 temp to a 131 range. That's preset. You can't control that. It's already controlled. On the other hand, there's a program, it's basically called Quick Mode. You can control that temperature and you still get your mid, near, far infrared wavelengths, but just in a different way of the programs. So it has a variety of different programs you can choose from, not just to go into a hot box, basically. And that's what's nice, and it helps with sunlight and saunas. That's why I like it, because you can choose more than one setting.
Oh, that's really interesting. I like that. And some of the benefits they say you can get from an infrared sauna are better sleep, relaxation, detoxification, weight loss, relief from sore muscles, relief from joint pain, such as arthritis, clear and tighter skin, improved circulation, and help for people with chronic fatigue syndrome. Have you noticed these benefits on your clients? And what other benefits have you noticed that your clients get from using the infrared sauna?
Yes, and basically, you said quite a few things, and all those things are very true with the infrared. It does improve and everything like that. And like the clients, because I've been there, it'd be over 6 years now. There's clients, say, for example, I met so many people with Lyme disease. So they're more interested in that far infrared, that detoxification one. And that helps them pull out from the sweating and everything, and it helps the detox. That 20% detox comes out. Regular traditional saunas is 3%. So even with people with like vertigo, nervous system, lowers blood pressure. And then of course, the more you do, the more benefits you see, just like anything, I think more with holistic, and it helps with the pain relief as well. So the list really goes on and on of people experiencing. And then the clients that I have and everything, they, even with their immune system, thyroid, that helps them tremendously. So that's why I really enjoy my business and everything, because the clients are like, wow, I feel so much better. It's such an improvement in my life and everything. So that makes me feel good, because it's not me. It's just infrared magical box, I always say, because it's amazing what infrared can really do for people. So there has been a lot of results for people out there.
That's really awesome. And so I don't think we had this as a question, but since you brought up Lyme's disease, I have a friend whose niece just was diagnosed with it, who's probably like 2 or 3 years old. So is there an age limit even to doing an infrared sauna? Like, do you have to be old enough to do it, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, the rule of thumb, it used to be, as studies out there, and it's not coming from me or anything like that, but that's a good question. I mean, basically it used to be like, say if they're 10 years old, then it used to be just 10 minutes, but now the rule of thumb is like 2 minutes per age. So they could do 20 minutes. And I even, unfortunately, and with kids who have cancer and they went through chemo, and it's just devastating. And, there's a lot of places, where they got the treatment, they want to get that chemo out. So it just all depends what the situation is and what their physician would say too. But the rule of thumb is like 2 minutes per age.
Okay. Oh, no, that's interesting. And then also, besides age, do you see more men or women coming to use your infrared saunas?
I have to say, I would say more women do, but there's a lot of men that who come in too. So it's pretty close. I would say more women, but it is close call, because there is quite a few men that do come in. And then especially now with the COVID hit, and I think more and more people are having awareness on their body. They're researching something's going on, and then infrared pops up. or people who do like traditional saunas, and they're not up and running right now because it's two different benefits. So there's more men who do more of the saunas. So I think they're coming in more. So it's almost even at this point. But overall, I would say more women than men.
Okay, Michelle, we just talked about age, but are there any other precautions for using an infrared sauna? Something like, if you're pregnant or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. If you're pregnant, you don't want to use the infrared sauna. And then even with people like who have pacemakers, because, this is interesting too. So with the panels, they're magnets. So the magnets kind of trip the pacemaker. But if you say we're at home and you could take the panels off and the magnets, then they can use it. So that is interesting. And I always recommend, if you have any doubt or anything like that, always consult your doctor. But it's really a lot of people can really use the infrared. But then there's a little concern too, because if some people say they just don't sweat at all. So sometimes, and a lot of people, sweat after time.
I think, yeah, that was me. When I first came in and started using the infrared sauna, I always thought, oh, that's really cool. I don't sweat. But then, reading about it, that's a bad thing. And it took me a little bit, but yeah, by using the infrared sauna, I now sweat. So it was definitely a benefit.
Yeah, and that helps. And some people think, you have to sweat the whole entire time. And it's really not true. I mean, there's more studies out there. If you sweat, even if it's like 15 minutes in your 45-minute sauna session, you really don't have to. And then really the optimal infrared wavelength, they always say 120 to a 130 temperature to a 140 temperature, to get that detoxified sweating.
Yeah, you also have the pods. You introduced those about a year ago, and I used those too, and those definitely make you sweat. And I think last time we talked about how those are just far, right?
Yeah, that is just far. So there's 9 far infrared heaters, and they're by Sunlighten as well. And it took, I guess I got a couple years, 2 years now. So I didn't have those sauna pods right away. And I did try them 7 years ago, or 6.5 years ago before I opened up as well. But it's definitely more intense heat. But what I like is you as a client has control of the temperature of the sauna pod or the infrared saunas as well. So that makes a big difference, because sometimes you don't have control like maybe other saunas or other places. So, but yeah, the temperature in the sauna pod is just far infrared heat. And like you say, you definitely sweat a lot more because it's so confined too. So, and all depends what kind of mood you're in. If you want to lay down, then, the sauna pod, or if you feel like you want to sweat more. It's a mood thing or it's a comfort thing. So a lot of people, there's just sauna pod people, there's cabin people, and I know you go back and forth, and there's a lot of people just kind of go interchangeable. So
Yeah, and I guess we should mention also that there's music in there and there's
yeah.
lights, so people are into light therapy. So it's really cool.
Oh yeah, because to bring that up, it has. So for the infrared sauna, we have the 2-person Believe full spectrum. You get your mid-near far infrared, different programs. You get Pandora music of your choice. You get YouTube if you want to watch a movie. So sound therapy, and that helps with like bone loss. It helps with the sound and everything like that. Even PTSD, it helps. So there's 2 speakers on the bottom bench, and then of course chromotherapy lighting. And then you can control the lights. If you want just blue, you can put it just blue or red, or it's all it's called you can rotate through all the lights too. So, and normally, your first visit's 40 minutes, and then after that, 45 minutes in the sauna cabin, and then the sauna pod is always 40 minutes.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I'm like learning about this as we talk too. So it's I want to come up and visit now so I can check this out.
Yeah, when your mom definitely come in into the cabin. It is because honestly, a lot of people haven't heard about it. So it's kind of like one of those things, you're basically researching and word of mouth. I really don't advertise, but still, there's more awareness, I think, since this past year, but there's still a lot of people don't know or understand about infrared and what it can really do and help you. The impact, it helps with the sleep as well too.
Do you know when it became a therapy or a sauna, I guess, like when they
Oh,
started using infrared in saunas like that?
yeah. So, because as you know, regular traditional sauna's been around for the concept like thousand plus years.
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question on the infrared, it's been around since like 1965, and then there's some people saying that it could have been longer. The first person who put the infrared together, the wavelengths as a sauna, was in Japan.
Oh, okay.
So that's where it kind of heard about. And like I said, I didn't hear about it at all until just that advertising in Nashville. So, and I was sold, that's for sure. It was because I have, thyroid and Hashimoto, and it just helped me. I had neck pain and everything like that. I neck spasms, muscle spasms. I don't have any of that. I don't complain at all. So it's helped me tremendously. I can see a huge change. So I said, I don't want to live without it. Hope I don't have to.
Yeah, that's great. Did you notice that change like after that first time you went in Nashville, or was it gradual? Like you just felt like something was a little different and so you just kept going back?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was very relaxed, it was very warm, and just the muscles wasn't as intense, but it definitely, most people, you really know the first time, but you need to go
Mm-hmm.
back, definitely. It took several times, but that first time, that intrigued me, like saying, hey, I can feel my body changed a little bit, and your skin and everything like that. It really helps the detox and with the anti-aging, and feels like you just got a facial as well. So
That's
with the skin.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I guess we don't really have any other formal questions, but do you just have anything else that you wanted to let the listeners know, like maybe your website even that they could check out or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, we have the infrared sauna cabin, and then the sauna pod. And the website, definitely check out the website, and that has some more information. And it's www.unit8wellness.com. And, and if there's any questions, the phone number's there, or they can email me. It's nice because we use like a booking app, the Mind and Body booking app. So you can always book. It's all the saunas, you're in your private sauna suite. We provide all the towels. And it's interesting too, because infrared, like some people say, should I wear a bathing suit? Infrared penetrates through nothing at all or a bamboo. So we do provide like a bamboo wrap and bamboo towels. So you are getting that experience if you don't want to be completely nude. There's like a bamboo wrap. It's kind of like a robe per se. And like I say, in your own private sauna suite. And you definitely want to drink plenty of water, at least, and when I say plenty, I always say at least 24 ounces or more of water is always a good thing. Definitely be hydrated than not at all. And then it's a two-person. So sometimes two people may share a sauna. It's a little bit more cost because it's their first experience together. And it's totally two different experiences if you're by yourself or with someone as well. Of course, the pod, you're so confined, you're by yourself. It's and then we have two to add that, and it's on the website, Sergem massage bed, and it's a massage, chiropractor, acupressure, scans your spine, stretches you at the same time.
Wow.
So that's a really nice combination to do the infrared sauna plus the Sergio massage bed.
Yes, those are very nice. They're very relaxing.
That sounds magical.
I do love them.
Yeah, the two of them together, it's there's quite a few people, but it's just the time and everything like that. But when you can do it, it's a nice treat. I don't even have time to do it a lot of times. I'm like, oh, time I get out of there, because I really take advantage of the products and of the sauna cabin or the pod and the massage bed as well. So I always say that it helps with a lot, and there's a lot of people, with aches and pains and the pain relief, and there's a lot of people even with thyroid too, which I have, so I can definitely relate to that. And I always say too, and which is a fact, it's a safe and natural way, no UV rays, no radiation, because especially years ago, people were like, oh, do I have to wear goggles or anything like that? And I'm like, no. So it's, there's no radiation or UV. So it's safe and natural to use that detoxifying sweat process.
Do you have a recommended, like, how often, like monthly, weekly is healthy, or is, what's too much, I guess?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And believe me, I get that, asked a lot. So I always say you can use it every day. That's the reality. That's how safe it is. But then reality hits of time and everything like that. So I always say, if you can do it 3 days a week, that's amazing. You'd be like, wow. But if you can't do that, then I say 2 days. Even that 1 day, at least you're doing something. And not only that, you feel so good afterwards. And then you're like, man, I wish I could do it again. And, so your body is like calling, like saying, okay, if you go to an infrared, if you experience the session, then you're 2 days later, you're like, your body's craving it, kind of thing. That's probably the recommendation.
That's awesome.
Just as whenever you can really do it.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle, I must say I can't wait for my session tomorrow. I'm ready.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because the sauna cabin.
But
I'll definitely be there. And like I say, everything's on the website as hours go and everything like that. And I was going to say, can you think of any questions? I think we've covered just about everything, just with the Sunlight and Saunas and the different programs. And, Sunlight and Saunas too are more the medical grade. They're patent and solo carbon. And they're really on the market that has proven to raise your core temperature. So just kind of to add that too. And that's how much detox that pulls out as 20%.
Yes, it definitely raises your core temperature.
Yeah.
Especially those pods.
Yeah.
So if you could leave our listeners with one thing about the infrared saunas, what would you leave them with?
I would say definitely with the infrared saunas, and that's what I was mentioning before. It's safe, natural way, no UV rays, radiation. So if you could definitely try an infrared where you're at, I think it's worth the experience and see how you feel yourself, because what I experience and what other people have, it seems like you really know that first time. Sometimes you'll be like, wow, it was amazing. For the most part, most people do come back, but I would always say that if you're feeling stressed out, feeling achy, you have issues, your immune system, and you really just want your own quiet time. And that's like the key too, is it you're in a box, you have your own music of your choice, and it's your time. And we need to escape to that. We're too busy in our life. We just need our time And for 40 minutes, 45 minutes, that is your time, and you can relax and detox and do something for yourself. And it's worth it.
Oh, I totally agree.
So, well, thank you both for having me. I, really appreciate it. And hopefully with your listeners and everything, they'll be able to, it doesn't matter where they're at and location, but hopefully they'll be able to experience the infrared sauna of the sauna cabin or the sauna pod.
Well, thanks everyone for listening. And again, we want to hear from you guys. We always want to hear from you guys. Please, please, please reach out to us. And here are just a few ways that you can do that. You can reach out via Instagram and Facebook. Find us at Salty About Health. Even Snapchat at Salty Health. You can email us at saltyabouthealth@gmail.com. Or if you just want to find all that in one place, check out our website, saltyabouthealth.com. We've got all the ways for you to listen and connect there. And finally, if you like what you hear today, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. We really appreciate it. So, Mom, if they want to hear from you on social media, where can they find you?
Okay, I am a certified health coach and I do coach one-on-one. So if you're interested, you can contact me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com. I also do research for people who are interested in finding alternative approaches to do in conjunction with the health issue or illness their doctor is treating them for. So again, just reach out to me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com.
And of course, I'll be the one mainly keeping an eye on the social media. So always happy to chat with you guys via the Salty Network. Also, just want to shout out our intro and outro music. It is by Yule, and you can find her at www.yulearts.com. That's EULARTS. You can also find her on Instagram at Yule_arts or Spotify and YouTube. Check her out. Her piano music and everything else is amazing. And until next time, stay salty.
Stay salty.